Let's talk about WandaVision. Fucking love that. I love that. We're out of we're out of the sitcom land already, dude. There's no more sitcoms. We're flat out down to business. And I mean, honestly, dude, if somebody hasn't seen this show, you want to get them started in it, just I don't know, dude. Just explain to them that the first episodes, because the first what 4 episodes, nothing happened. It was just TV land, pretty much. It was just I don't know. I Love Lucy, whatever the hell it was, and it explains it in this one. This one was episode 8, I believe, and it starts with Agatha Harkness. Bro, how could I get mad at that woman with that banger of a song? Dude, she straight up murdered an adorable little dog, and I still love her, man. I do, dude. That song, dude. I've had her little song stuck in my head for a whole week, dude. I've been like mentally singing that song. I'm taking a poop. It was Agatha all along. I almost crashed. It was Agatha all along. Everything was Agatha all along, and it's fuck yeah, dude. What a banger! What a banger! It starts with Agatha going to the Salem witch trials, and which it's like, dude, I don't know. Disrespect you again with some water. You have to be like straight up just MCU, like because I don't know much about the comics either, and even I knew okay something's up with this lady, and I did the videos. I would go on YouTube and see the not conspiracies, the theories about it, and I knew who Agatha Harkness was. Cause even like, don't lie, dude. Like, unless you're a hardcore reader, you didn't know who the hell Agatha Harkness was. So like, went in the videos, saw who she was, and I knew it was Agatha all along. Everybody did, and I mean, there was people who were like, people thought that it was like they're probably gonna put like a switch and it not be Agatha, and it's like, dude, it's more than obvious it's Agatha. And even with the whole thing, the whole Westview incident, some people were saying that it was probably Agatha that created it and not Wanda, which is like doesn't make sense, dude, because like even Agatha's magic is purple and Wanda's magic is red. And that's another thing like that you see in the beginning. Like Agatha is going to the where they burned the witches at the stake, and it's crazy because historically it was the people killing the witches or the women that they thought were witches. This one, it was actual like her sisterhood of witches that they're like, dude, you're getting too powerful. Chaos magic, which she refers to at the end of the episode. Dude, we're doing spoilers here, man. If you didn't see it, you come on, dude. Set sail in the pirate ship and watch it, bro. But what I say, yeah. So like what is it, like 5 other witches, and I guess the headmaster, she calls her mother. I don't think it was actually her mom. I think it's like her title. I guess she's like the head witch is the mother witch for some reason. For a lot of organizations, they tend to like have a paternal figure, a maternal figure, the Dawn, I guess. And she, the other witches are like pretty much, using their magic to try to kill Agatha. And Agatha, like what I see, I think like she sucks out the magic from them, and because they're shooting blue magic beams, which is kind of like, I noticed that was the color that Monica Rambeau was using with her magic. So maybe Monica Rambeau was also like a witch. Maybe. I don't know. So like she turns the magic purple. She straight out sucks the life out of these chicks. No pun intended, man. But like they end up like zombies. Like they're like dead. So she dukes it out with a head, with a head witch, the mother witch, and she like, I mean, the mother witch is like, dude, Agatha has this personality that it's like, she's very playful. So like, she's like, I'll be a good witch, and like the mother sees through the bull crap. So she's like, nah, man, I gotta kill you right now and end this because you're gonna get too powerful if you figure out how to use chaos magic. So Agatha ends up killing her too. She takes the brooch, the you know the brooch that she has, obviously, right? And I mean, that's how you see that's where she gets the brooch. I see it like the brooch could be the indicator that she's the head witch. So she's like, now I'm the head witch. And also, dude, when the mother witch was trying to kill her, like you see her get the crown, the Scarlet Witch crown, and like I guess every witch has that. So it's it ties to what Wanda's gonna be, to what Wanda's costume is as the Scarlet Witch. So that's a pretty cool detail. I'm I like little things like that they do. And they come back to the basement where Wanda is being held captive by Agatha. And that basement, dude, is full of little hints here and there. She's holding Senor Scratch, which is like, I mean, props to them. They used a rabbit instead of a typical black cat. I was expecting her to turn the bunny into a black cat. Straight up. I was expecting her to turn the bunny into a black cat because she got the fly from last episode that was in the window. She got it and she turned it into a bird, and then she used the magic spell and turned the fly into a bird, and the bird just flies peacefully. And I'm like, these people have never seen a bird indoors, right? Those motherfuckers go ham, dude, ham. Like I've been to places, stores, and like this store I used to work at, Ross. We had a pigeon fly in, dude. And that thing was smacking itself through every wall he saw. I don't know. Dudes just lose it, dude. They go ham indoors. They know they're indoors. Like they're the most claustrophobic thing ever, dude. Like get a chicken and take it inside your bedroom. Your lady's sleeping, throw a chicken at her, and like see how that chicken goes ape shit. So to me, that when she turned the fly into a little bird, I was like, okay, yeah, it's like CGI as hell, dude. So it's like, all right, cool, I get it. There's all this animal cruelty stuff, and yeah, it would have been nearly impossible to have an actual real life bird in there. And I felt bad, dude, for the bird because she grabs it and she's hurting the damn thing. You could hear the little bird like squeaking. The little bird was like, squeak, 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 and she's like, she keeps on talking shit to Wanda. Wanda tries to break free, but it's not her magic or some shit like that. She's like, you can't break free, which you are not used to seeing Wanda get manhandled the way she got manhandled by Agatha. That's a first to me. And yeah, dude. Here like, oh yeah, she lets the bird go and the rabbit eats it. It's weird because she lets the bird go, and I noticed she lets the bird go. But did she turn the bird back into a fly, or was it the rabbit that turned the bird into a fly? Because the bird, and it was like, I don't know, it went too quick, but it seemed like even like the rabbit sucked it in. So if something's up with a rabbit, it could be Mephisto. I really don't think that the bad guy in this show is going to be Mephisto. One reason only. And, you can't, don't overthink it. Disney is pretty much owned by, a certain country that is not down with having, religious images like the devil. And Mephisto's pretty much the devil. It could be, what's his face, Nightmare. I've been seeing a lot that it's probably going to be Nightmare. I've been seeing that they're going to mix both characters, which is like, Dude, don't mess around with it so much. Maybe one day, our brothers in the east will loosen up a little bit, and you can bring the actual Mephisto. But I have a link. I'm inclined to think it's gonna be Nightmare, not Mephisto. And there's like when there's references to dreams in it, like a little in the next segment that they jump into. Another thing that you know oh, dude, you know what? Another thing that I freaking love, dude. That's why I like this character, and it's like she and nobody's really mentioning it. Is like she straight up calls her out on the accent. Like she like Wanda's like my children, and she's like, yeah, that accent sure comes and goes, huh? And it's like, yes. Like the people who made this show, I don't know if they're still filming it. I think not, but it's like they pretty much set us up and guided us into thinking stuff. And like a lot of people, including myself, were like, dude, what's up with her accent? Like, okay, I get it in the sitcoms, like it comes, she has to play the part. Like, when it's the 50s, hey, yeah, see, hey, like this, the accent they used to have back in the 50s, eh? And, but I think throughout the movies, she lost the accent. And she calls her out on it. Another thing that nothing that they she mentions, and that's one thing that I am really gonna be pissed at, is she actually mentions that she's behind the fake Pietro. Now, she's like, obviously I couldn't bring your actual brother because he's in another country, and she's like, he's full of holes. I mean, it's been 5 years around there. I don't know exactly the timeline, but for sure it's been over 5 years. I think the body full of holes is the least of your problems, dude. That's a straight out zombie if she brings him back. The only thing that I will be like, come on, dude. I'll turn that shit off, and like, I don't know, my eyes will roll back, or I don't know. I'll be pissed as if he ends up just being a random dude and not Quicksilver from the X-Men franchise. Because it's like, if you're just gonna make it a random dude, get a random dude. And not this. Oh, it's a nod. A wink to the fans. It's like, no, dude. He either is or he isn't. Like another thing they've been saying is that he could be the missing person that they sent Monica to look for in the beginning. And dude, come on. I think the missing person is that blonde chick. What's her face? Dottie. Dottie is the missing person, because when they had the posters in the wall of the people from Westview, Dottie was in there. Agatha was there. So it seems like it could be that Dottie wasn't in the wall in the poster, because they already had her information. They already knew who she was, because obviously she's the missing person. We go to, Agatha wants to know how Wanda created the Westview the Westview anomaly, and the hex. And she pulls It's a Wonderful, what is that Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life, whatever, like that, the Christmas Carol, whatever, dude. She takes her back to the past where like her parents are there. And that's another thing, is that the theory of the man and woman from the commercials is that's not it, dude. That's not it. They got two random ass people to be the parents. And you see Pietro little, and then Wanda, Wanda's there seeing it. And like, I guess the dad sells bootleg DVDs of sitcoms, and that explains why. And that's another theory that everybody, including myself, like, we were like, yeah, like, that's the way she copes it, because like, she lived in the country without sun, dude. She lived in a country where all you do is just sit down and like I don't know if it's correct, but a lot of these countries are like behind with pop culture. Especially there's a lot of countries where you don't even have internet, or if you do, it's very limited. So there's a lot of countries that they're like receiving like pop culture late. I don't know where I think even wrestling is like that. That's why like when the WWE had a deal with Saudi Arabia, like they were requesting Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart and The Undertaker and all these old timers because they weren't familiar with the new generations. Something like that. I might be wrong, though. I was probably drunk when I heard that. But yeah. So it turns out Wanda's dad sells. I don't know if they're bootleg DVDs. In my head canon, they're bootleg DVDs because I have met people. I'll go to a Mexican restaurant. I'll buy my gorditas, my enchiladas, and there's always these people coming over with bootleg DVDs. So it's more accurate that he's selling bootleg DVDs. It's like, of course, Disney is not going to be promoting piracy, directly. But yeah. So Wanda's there. Grown up Wanda shows, turns into little Wanda. Props to the casting. A lot of times, they get these child actors to play a part of a grown up actor, and the kid looks nothing like him. This little girl looked like Elizabeth Olsen. She kind of looked like the homegirls from Full House, like in a preteen way. So like this little girl, she's believable that it could have been her. Like it could have, dude. I don't know. She's probably like related to her or something. But to me, she looked perfect casting for that little kid. And we see, I bet shit. Her favorite show's Dick Van Dyke. Dude, it's all good. Family's watching Dick Van Dyke. Boom, and you know it. I knew it as I was watching it. I'm like, boom, 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 and then boom. I was like, yes, I knew it. I felt bad, but I was like, yes, I knew it. So Pietro shows up and he gets her, and she's like, Wanda, you go under a table, cause we all know that rundown tables are powerful against not nuclear bombs, but against missiles. And that's the scene that like you keep on hearing from Wanda. You heard from Pietro, like the Stark missile. A cool thing that they did with this is that we're led to believe that the Stark missile was just it just by chance it didn't work. And Agatha reveals that it was actually Wanda who stopped it. She used a probability hex. I think it's called. She used a probability hex, and you see the little girl stretch her arm, and as soon as she stretches her arm, the missile turns off, and then Agatha pulls her out. It jumps over to Wanda in the Hydra facility. They're experimenting on him. She shows up, and Wanda Maximoff, and this dude, I forgot his name, but he's all like, look, man, like, no one's surviving this. Loki Scepter is there with a Mind Stone, I think. No one's surviving this. And the other dude's like, yeah, fuck, if she dies, she dies. Like, that's a very Russian thing to. That's a very like Russian way of thinking. Like, I've noticed, if he dies, he dies, right? So Wanda walks in, and the Infinity Stone kind of floats towards her, and they do this thing, and it's like, they do this foreshadowing thing with the Infinity Stone and Wanda, is that a lot of foreshadowing. This whole sequence is foreshadowing. Yeah, and it's said in the past, right? But the Infinity Stone floats towards Wanda, and it breaks, right? It goes away from Loki's scepter. It breaks, boom, and you see the golden color of it, and it was a chair, and she you see the Scarlet Witch in the Infinity Stone itself, reflecting towards Wanda. And it's like either it's part of, I see it like that's how the Infinity Stone unlocked her powers, because she has the power. I think she does have the power to look into the future. So I think in that moment she saw the future, where she's like decked out in the Scarlet Witch getup. She got the crown thingy, and like she looks like this. She's got the pose and everything. So like I think that's the way the Infinity Stone unlocked her and her powers, and she saw into the future. I also see that, I also think that she actually made a bond with the Infinity Stone, which is why she made a bond with Vision. So they, that stone and her, the Mind Stone and her, are bonded. In that minute, in that moment, it looks like they bond together. And they do this that I noticed that a lot of people, maybe I haven't seen the other reviewers talk about, is that she pulls the whole, when the sitcom episodes were that it was something she didn't like and Darcy was watching them, and they jump cut to something else. She actually does that when they're reviewing the security tapes. She jump cuts it from her walking in to her like being knocked out by the Infinity Stone. She is watching, they go back. She's in her cell. I guess she survived it, obviously, right? She's watching the Brady Bunch. So, they're building it. Okay, she copes with things by watching sitcoms. Agatha Harkness, like, she throws the mention of the Infinity Stone, which means that I doubt that the world itself knows about the Infinity Stone. So she name drops an Infinity Stone. So I know, like, she already has knowledge of them. They go into yeah, dude, I think this is how they're introducing the mutants. This is my headcanon, this is my theory, and they have to go with this. This is the only way that it'll make sense. And I think that they have to make it where mutants have always been in the MCU. It's just that the mutant gene became recessive. So that way you could bring the lore from past, you could bring other X-Men in, like Magneto, Professor X, that they had the mutant gene, but since they're strong mutants, they were already active, just not out there, and that the majority of the mutants, the gene was dormant. So the radiation from the Infinity Stones actually activates the mutant gene. So that way you could, that's the best way you could introduce the mutants. And they make a big deal about radiation with the Infinity Stones. You get it with Thanos, how his arm is all jacked up. Hulk's arm was all jacked up with all that radiation. Dude, that's the way we lost Tony Stark. And it's like, people were universally exposed to that. Like, dude, we're tripping out with 5G, bro. So that could be that they have to go with something like that, where the radiation from the Infinity Stones activated a dormant gene on people, and that also could tie into why Wanda and Pietro didn't die with the exposure of these why the Infinity Stone activated Wanda's X gene. I think that's where they should go. They move the story over to Vision. So it's like now she's coping with the death of Pietro from Age of Ultron, and she's just there. She's watching Malcolm in the Middle, and it's like there's a scene, dude. That's pretty cool that Disney now owns Malcolm in the Middle too, so they could actually use it. And I dig that they're actually using real shows. Usually, when there's no, when there's problems with the licensing, when you don't own the show, they'll have like a fake version of it, and dude, it's cringe. It takes you out. This one, she's actually watching Malcolm in the Middle, and Vision just shows up like a typical from, I don't know, what was it, Captain America, where you see that Vision just don't give a shit, man. Vision just walking by to see, hang out with Wanda. He always walks by the walls and stuff, and dude, homeboy drops some knowledge, man. To be a machine without feelings at that point. Well, not machine without feelings, but to be someone that's not really understanding human emotions. He really got a better grasp than most of us when he's all like, "What is grief but holding on to love," or something like that. And dude, that pretty much sums it up. You're holding on. You love this person so much that you still have so much love, and it turns into grief. And like, props to whoever wrote that. Great line. And you see Wanda and Vision start, connecting, and it's a nice scene, dude. It actually, I'm very like, I don't want to say sadistic, but I'm very like the dog's drinking water, so you could probably hear it. I very like it, like the episode where Vision shows up as like half, where Wanda sees the Vision dead, but he's there. He's like, "What's wrong, Wanda?" I was laughing my ass off with that. I thought that was hilarious. I got issues, bro. But in this one, I felt so bad because I know what was happening. They that's when Agatha's like, you've lost everyone, dude. Like, your life sucks. Like, Wanda's life sucks, dude. Yeah, she has powers and all, but bro, Wanda's life sucks. So Wanda goes with, they go to after the snap where, she goes to the sword facility. And you see the screens, dude, like the same. It's kind of the same thing when they show when Monica went, and they have the screens and they're like families reunited. And dude, that takes a whole nother meaning, because these two, Monica and Wanda, you'll have screens and you're reminded by everybody. Everybody's getting back with their loved ones except them two. Monica lost her mom and Wanda lost Vision. And it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks, so it's a contrast. People are happy they got reunited. In this case, Wanda, she didn't get reunited. She goes with what's his face? Oh man, what's his face? Hayward. And dude, I get it. He's the villain. He's a dick. Tone it down. Just tone it down, dude. Like, we know he's an asshole. Tone it down. Like, it's it's more than obvious. This company's going, especially with events that have been happening. This company is, going with certain narrative, and sometimes it's good to keep stuff like, subtle. I don't think Hayward is Mephisto. I hope Hayward is not Mephisto. I hope Hayward is not the actual bad guy, like a supernatural evil being. I hope he's just an asshole. And it's as an asshole, he's just calling things how it is. Wanda shows up. She wants to see Vision. She wants to take Vision and bury him. And dude's like, "You're not burying $3 billion worth of vibranium." And I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense." And dude is like, Wanda, dude is like, you can't boot him up you can't, put him back on the, you can't boot him up or something like that. Instead of saying revive, I think he catches himself and says, oh, I'm sorry, revive him. And that's a very human thing to do. That's a very like, I've been through situations like, especially when you're a kid, you have a toy, it breaks, your dad's probably like, it's just a toy. That's the way I see Hayward. Haywood, he never saw Vision as more than a weapon. He keeps calling him the weapon. He wants to bring him back as a weapon. He's very like, he has that very like Tony Stark mentality. I think Hayward, I think he's gonna make a flip to the good side, to be honest, because he even tells Monica in that one episode, you don't know how it was. You know how bad it was for those 5 years that you were gone. Except Monica just shut that shit down because Monica is Monica, Miss Perfect, She just tells him not to be a puss. But I think that, this, if anything, this whole show is kind of a lesson in how different ways that people cope with loss. So, some people just push through and act strong when they're faced with a loss, like Monica. Some people get scared, become assholes in a way, like the Hayward. I keep on confusing it. And some people just kidnap an entire, town and make their own reality, like Wanda. It's perfectly normal stages of coping with grief. And dude, this got me shook, bro, because usually I laugh or I think it's funny, dude, but I felt so bad for Wanda when they showed them like they were dismantling him like a fucking car. And it's like, it took y'all 5 years to like dismantle this thing. Because obviously he didn't go in the snap, right? So it was like, who gave the body of the Vision to them? Or you know what? Maybe they barely got it because Tony died. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Tony had him in storage or something. Because if you see from Iron Man 2, Tony's not very like, a fan of giving his shit out. Or maybe these people, or maybe Tony did bury him. Maybe the Avengers did bury him and Sword went out and got the body. I mean, you don't know what happened those 5 years. Because I doubt that even Pepper would have been like, sure, who gives a shit, take him, I think that Sword most likely stole the body, most likely stole the Vision to bring him back, to be honest. Because I find it hard to believe that none of the Avengers gave a shit about him. The whole Infinity War was them trying to take the first part of Infinity War was them trying to take the Infinity Stone off him without killing him. So they obviously cared for him. I think that that's what happened. They buried him. This motherfucker went, ripped him out. Nobody actually told Wanda that they tried to bury him. Something happened, but I doubt that, Sword took the Vision's body willingly. This is where they pulled the fast one on us. A lot of us thought that Wanda went ham, took the Vision, and reassembled him. And that's, she doesn't. She doesn't. She just leaves. She's hit by the grief. I can't feel you. She does the thing that she did in, I don't know if it was in Captain America. What movie was it that was their thing? I feel you. Wanda goes. She gets papers to I guess it's the deed of a house. She goes to Westview. And everybody in Westview looks like shit. And I think that's the storyline of House of M, that she creates the perfect life for everybody. And I think that this is, since this is kind of an adaptation to House of M, that this is what she does. She sees everybody's so depressed. She's depressed. Let's make a nice world for everybody. Let's make everybody happy. And subconsciously, because she sees the house that, you know, they were either building the house or the house got blown up, something. She goes to the lot and she starts bawling and she boom explodes, and that's how she creates the sitcom world. And yeah, that's pretty much it. She goes, dude, she creates an alternate vision, and I find it weird that the energy, she emits red energy to create the fake Westview, the one that we saw for the first episode, the 50s one. And she uses her energy and it's red. When she creates Vision, it's gold. It's the power of the Infinity Stone. And I think that she had energy from the Infinity Stone, and that amplified or that unlocked her powers, and now she's letting go of that energy, and she created that Vision, which that energy was probably the link that she had with that stone and Vision, and it's kind of a way of letting go. Like, this whole show is a way of coping with loss, dude. It's pretty sad, and there was reports that they were saying that these episodes were gonna be sad, and this dude, if I was a puss, I would have broken a tear. You know, I was close to breaking a tear, dude, and it's in, you know, the whole show is like I say, it's a coping with loss. She creates Vision, and I think that's, like I said, that's her letting go of the Infinity Stone energy to create that Vision, letting go of Vision in a twisted kind of way. She creates this other fake Vision, this alternate Vision. And that's when Agatha Harkness shows up. And dude, that homegirl is hilarious. What's her name? Catherine Hahn. She's you know, I've seen her in other movies, dude. She's the one from Step Brothers, dude. I fucking love that movie. She owns that movie too. She's doing an awesome job in WandaVision. You hear the kids outside because she's like, okay, I know how you did it. I'm gonna bounce. I had my suspicions. I knew who you were. I'm out of here. So she like vanishes. You hear the kids. Wanda runs, and she's got them like dogs, dude. Like, she's got them tight. She's like by the neck with it, like energy leashes, and I'm like, she's gonna decapitate these kids, like straight up. And a thing I saw, maybe it's a reach, but there's a scene in the comics that I've been seeing a lot lately, that I don't know if it's Mephisto or Nightmare, one of these dudes, and they have like the arms are the kids, and that's kind of reminiscing to that to me. Like, they're kind of her arm, like an extension of her arms, the kids. And it ends there, and she name drops it. She name drops the Scarlet Witch. She's like, "You're a Scarlet Witch," which apparently is the most powerful. She has the power of creating life, right? So this is where you think it ends. And screw you, Disney, straight up, man, because last episode I missed the half credit, the mid credit scene, because every single episode I kept expecting it. I kept expecting to see something else, and all I got was, credit after credit, and then at the end, like, the different language people that work on the show, which is awesome. Credit where credit is due, right? But 10 minutes of fucking, like, who was the voice of Vision in Slovenian is like, bro, really? And this time we get another post-credit scene, and it's White Vision, which he's from the comics, I think. Like, well, yeah, he is from the comics. And like, that's the missile that they shot at Wanda, which is the exact. I don't know if it's the exact same missile that killed her parent. Like, not the exact missile, but the exact missile design that killed her parents. So that's a callback to it, and like, he's like, man, we tried to get this thing to work. Like, we disassembled him and reassembled him a million times, and all we needed was a little bit of the energy that created him, which is the energy from the Infinity Stone. And yeah, dude, he kind of actually looks like he has a little arc reactor on his forehead too, like the ones that Iron Man had, because obviously they don't have the Infinity Stone anymore. And I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see the two visions clash, because that dude, homeboy's probably gonna crash in there. So who knows where they're heading? You know, you got Vision, you got Fake Vision, you got Monica Rambeau, you got Quicksilver, which, dude, he better be the Fox Quelk Quicksilver. You got Agatha, you got Wanda. You got all these super powered, people that they're gonna, duke it out. I don't know who's gonna fight who. You got Hayward, the dick dude. We don't know what role he's gonna play. I think he's gonna get redemption. To be honest, I think he's just gonna see the error of his ways. That he was just being a dick. And I think Monica Rambeau is gonna save everyone, and she's of course gonna be the hero because reasons. And yeah, dude, that's pretty much all for the WandaVision episode. And it was a good episode. We'll have to wait for next week. And yeah, man, it is what it is. It's the waiting game.